life. Yeah, it's a given for all kids, right? Playing with your siblings, your friends, making memories in the park. Well, maybe it is if you're able-bodied, but if you're in a wheelchair or you can't sit up on a swing, there aren't many parks where you can play. Swindon mum Becky Madden is on a mission to change all of that. She's showing housing developers, councils and the government how to make the small changes that make a monumental difference for families. She's getting results. Becky's 8-year-old son Benjamin has cerebral palsy, epilepsy and he's registered blind. BBC Radio Wiltshire's reporter Kelly Morgan has been running around a North Swindon park with Becky to find out a little bit more about her mission.
Despite his diagnosis, he's a little boy that loves to go down slides, loves to be swung high, and more importantly, deserves to. Unfortunately, as he's got older, bigger, heavier, we now avoid parks because they are not accessible or inclusive, and that's where my inspiration comes from, making sure that all children like us, all families, have access, are able to enjoy their free outdoor space, which is so crucial in this day and age.
Well, Luna Park out the back of Oakhurst Primary School. This is the future, right? So let's have a quick run around, okay? So we've come through the gate and the first thing is we've got 3 sensory boards. Now, presumably this is great for kids with special educational needs, but all kids enjoy interacting with this.
Absolutely.
Let's have a run around here. Over we go, over the snake. And we've got a roundabout. Describe this and why it makes a difference.
This is a huge difference. This can have 2 wheelchairs on, so children can play together. It's also got a seat for a child maybe with limited mobility that can't stand. More importantly, it's big, which means children can play together. Children in wheelchairs, children with limited mobility.
I'm making you run here, right, all the way over to the other side of the park, and a big old swing, but there's 2 seats that look very different.
Typically, swings will have kind of a toddler swing and this standard swing here. For example, my son Benjamin cannot sit unaided, but he's also too big to sit in a toddler swing. So at most parks, he can't enjoy playing in a swing. With a high back swing, as long as a child can be lifted into the high back swing, a child like Benjamin can still enjoy participating, and crucially, all children can sit in this swing. So it's increasing participation by having a high back swing.
This is exactly what I'm picking up, because all of this kit is truly socially integrating children, no matter what their abilities or otherwise. Everybody can play together.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, we live locally to this park and we would never come, and now we can. We can come with friends, we can come with family, and there's equipment for all of our children.
Well, let's wander into the middle of the park. We've got Councillor Steve Hayes. This can only be achieved with lots of different parties working together and collaborating.
Yes, I've been working with Becky now for probably about 4 years. We've got to the stage where we can now understand that putting accessible equipment in parks is accessible for everybody and doesn't cost very much more. So you can start really with about £10,000 in your pocket and work upwards from that. In all play budgets, that's possible. The key thing to me is that the councils are now adopting that they will put accessible equipment in every refurbishment they do going forward. So we're in a good place over the next few years, I think.
Justin Tomlinson, MP for North Swindon. Sorry for dragging you off the slide, first of all. We're making great progress by the sounds of it here. It's incredible to see and really inspiring, actually. How can this become the norm, not just in Swindon, Wiltshire, the southwest? How can it become the norm across the country?
Well, it is going to be. Look, I was blown away when I first met Becky, and the government is committed to doing this, and I'm incredibly proud that Swindon is leading its way. All of the parish councils have been very receptive. We wrote to them many years ago to say, meet with Becky, start doing this as you refurbish your park. Swindon Borough Council have just changed their design codes locally, so all new play parks, this becomes a given.
Why can't the government issue something now where they say, these are the design codes, this is what's required, out it goes to councils, jobs are good 'un?
So you're preempting the next stage of our campaign. The first part was to get commitment. The second part is to make sure that the wording is right and say that it's a given as the natural process of new play parks and refreshed play parks come forward. Then we can turn to look at things like the levelling up agenda, where additional funding could be then secured for whether it's parish councils, borough councils up and down the country to speed up that process.
Fantastic. Last word goes to you, Becky. How proud are you?
I'm really proud that the parish councils have been on board, and actually When I tell my story, it's you don't make anything up. It's reality, and it's reality not just for me, not for my family, but it's reality for all families who experience either bringing up a child with a disability, or at times actually it's parents who potentially have a disability, who are wheelchair bound, and actually can't take their children to a park. And I think in a time of the cost of living crisis, parks are free. The national curriculum is based around play in the early years, yet as a society we do deny our children the opportunity to play because we don't provide for them with accessible and inclusive equipment. So this is such a significant step for everybody, not just within Swindon, but working nationally as well. And I'm really excited to see how this can really develop.
Becky Madden there, passionate about getting accessible parks with play equipment all children can use, able-bodied or otherwise, up and running, not just here in Wiltshire, but elsewhere as well. Becky Madden, Mum on a Mission. With Councillor Steve Hayes and Justin Tomlinson MP, all